G'day, fellas, and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in over on the north side of the map, we've got Divine, who is going to be playing the Mongols. And FitzBro, can you tell me who his opponent is?
We've got Salami down here in the south with that golden elephant. Beautiful, beautiful golden elephant. And the map here is Dry Arabia. What is the rank of these two players, Drongo?
These guys are actually quite high ranked at the moment. So Divine, he is sitting inside the top 100. He's sitting at rank 62. Whereas Salami is slightly outside the top 100, sitting at rank 142. So I'm curious to see how this match unfolds, because obviously we've got Salami, who is a little bit lower rated. And look, you know, some people are fans of the tier list, some people aren't. But I'll be honest with you, I kind of feel like Mongols is a little bit better than Delhi at the moment, FitzBro. I don't know how you feel about that statement, but look, I think we've got a stronger Civ in a higher ranked player's hands going up against the weakest Civ in a lower ranked player's hands. So I think he's going to have a tough time on his hands.
I have to absolutely agree. And, you know, this isn't even a map where sometimes Delhi has been stronger recently on those hybrid water maps. There's no water here. It'll be interesting to see how he plays this. I know that I've done a lot of Salami casts recently, and he has been doing a lot of fun cheesing with his wall segments. There's some wood lines he could actually wall here, but it's a rather open map. Would need to have a very long walls. We know Salami is known for his very long wall, but we'll see how he plays this.
Well, speaking of long walls, take a look at the long sword of Salami right now, over towards his enemy's base.
Stopping look at this. And, you know, I've had people tell me to do this is against Mongols. There's so many different options for cheese they could do against you in the Dark Age. Just run straight to their base, and you can either deny him or do like what he's doing right now,
Can
harassing.
you see what Salami's doing? Have a look at this. This is that animation cancel. So what he's doing
is he?
Attack, move, attack, move, attack,
dirty.
move. And so by doing that, he's canceling the attack of his swing and subsequently getting out a shitload more damage on that villager. So now you can see there's actually two really low health villagers for Divine at this point in time. One of them is actually hidden inside the town center at this point in time.
You might not even realize that, but ultimately the spearmen are out now. So we have some spearmen out in the field. We also see a villager coming forward for Divine, so I can only assume we've got a tower rush on our hands.
We got ourselves
What's
a tower
new?
rush. Oh, good old-fashioned tower rush. So, look, if I'm going to be honest with you, Fitz, when I'm playing the Mongols, I love to do the tower rush. It feels disgusting, but at the same time, you got to like really think about it from the perspective of the Mongol player. So doing the tower rush, it doesn't really hurt you a lot in the early game, and it doesn't really delay what your goal is, because your ultimate goal as the Mongols is to get to Castle Age and start that double production of lancers and that double production of men-at-arms. Now, keep in mind, we're in the post-Springald patch right now, so who knows how the game will unfold, because obviously Springalds aren't going to be your go-to anymore for the majority of your army. So we could potentially see, you know, something different. Maybe we see crossbows come out, but look, you don't really get delayed too much by doing this aggression, and it really forces your opponent to adapt. So looking forward to seeing how Salami deals with it.
I mean, and even if you don't kill anything with the tower, or you don't even actually get a whole lot of value, if your enemy reacts, that can be worth a lot. Just forcing reaction. Now, I will point out, as there is this engagement going on here, Salami did open with a barracks before he built his mosque. I've seen him do this in a few games, and I think it's something worth trying out right now in the Dark Age. If you know there's going to be some kind of pressure, go for a barracks before you go for your mosque. And you see he was able to get these spearmen out, and he was able to deny this tower rush, which he otherwise, if he was just sitting back here with the mosque right now, no barracks, he would have been in some big trouble.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But the tower rush isn't over just yet.
Yeah.
One thing to note is that villager, if that villager is still alive, the tower rush is still on. Couple wolves getting in on the action as well, Fitz. Look at that. They're chasing them away and saying, get out of here, get out of here. That's my man you're attacking right there.
I always think it's ironic that the wolves don't attack the sheep. The one thing you would think they would definitely go after.
You're not wrong. Villagers, is that villagers? No, that's spears. God, he's got a lot of spears out. Where is he getting all these spears from?
That villagers and spears? Jeez, why were you thinking that? Is it because it looks exactly like a villager when he's in siege mode?
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? I think the only way to tell them apart is the green pants that they've got. But other than that, they look very similar, don't they?
Green pants.
Yeah, it's the green pants that gives them away. But look at how does Salami have so many more numbers than his opponent at this point? I mean, we're talking about a Mongol player who has literally got double production right now. I can actually see that he's got a lot of resources stacked up, so he should probably have a few more units out here. But I would expect under almost all circumstances for the Mongol player to have way more spears than the Delhi player, but still he's able to get him on top.
Look at this micro of these spearmen. I think it's because I think Salami might have gotten his barracks down first, and he was able to delay Divine a little bit with that harassment with the scout. And I think Divine might have backed off on the spearman production at some point here or something, because there's also the defender's advantage. Salami has his reinforcements faster.
Reinforcements. Yeah.
That villager's
it does
still
make
alive.
sense. Yeah, that villager's still alive, still hovering the sheep there as well.
Oh, he's going after he's going after the kill.
Numerous wolves. Yes, indeed he is. But we'll take a look over at Salami's base. So he's actually take a look at his barracks. That'll explain why his production is so good at the moment.
I think that only recently came in because he built that Moss second. That probably just recently. But yeah, that will really go in overdrive now.
And have a look at what we've got here. We've got the reversed tower rush happening.
What?
You thought only the Mongols could tower rush. It turns out that the Mongols can also get tower rushed. I don't think I've ever seen this before.
I mean, I've seen the wall segment rush. I don't know if I've seen like a straight up Dark Age tower rush.
Yeah. And now Villager actually died down the south of the map for Divine. So his tower rush is basically over. Unless he sends out a new villager, but he's going to be having to deal with spears in his own base now.
Man,
as
this
that
is
barracks
huge.
actually falls back, and now he's going to begin focusing down the Uvu. This is ludicrous. So he's literally tower rushing the tower rusher. How does?
Well, now I'm processing what he's been doing here. This is a smart move against the Mongols. So he opened with the early barracks. He did get efficient production in, and if Mongols stay in the Dark Age, which Divine did choose to do, I mean, granted he might not have tower rush. He could have went straight for aging. But if they stay in the Dark Age, you're going to outnumber them in spearmen once you have that efficient production going. And maybe this is exactly what they do. They bring the pain to you. If you're still in the Dark Age, there's nothing that's going to counter these spearmen. And I think the outpost was just style points. I don't know if you even needed that, but
yeah, I really don't think he needed it. But as you mentioned, it's 100% style points, because what can happen there is if Salami doesn't tower, Divine can subsequently pull villages. Let's say he pulls 6 or 7 villages, something like that, and then he towers on that on that Uvu and looks to keep it alive. But now look at what we've got. We've got another tower coming up here. Now keep in mind, no gold has been gathered from this forward gold mine here that we've got for his opponent. Up towards the north, we do have an a new Uvu that's been put down. We've got the Gur up there. I don't think Salami scouted that one out, but his scout is now moving towards the north. An outpost is going to be going up there as well. This is an action-packed game, Fitz.
I did not expect this, and honestly, I think Divine has probably really been hitting the ladder hard with tower rushes, and you can get a lot of value out of them. And it's very rare for a Delhi player just to straight up open with the barracks. I mean, I don't think I ever do it, but I'm certainly going to consider it more now. But it seems to be the way to stop the tower rush. But with that, you've got to scout it. You got to stay on top of him, because at any moment, he could have slipped a sneak tower somewhere.
Look at Salami right now. He's actually gathered up 800 food, so he's still yet to. He's got 15 villages on gold. Look at are you watching this right now?
Yeah, I think he's long mining. I think he's toying with his prey right now. I think he's feeling really good. He's got all these spearmen. He stopped the Mongol tower rush. Honestly, when I play against Mongols as Delhi, my goal isn't to win the game. My job is to just meme on them as much as possible until defeat.
Well, look, I think Salami's definitely on the road to doing that. He's got a couple of outposts up here, lost those villages, so unfortunately, he's going to have to send more up. There's a lot of spears in here fighting amongst the spears, but keep in mind the defender's advantage, combined with the fact that there's an Uvu here. We've got the outpost hardened spear coming in, and the outpost on top of that as well. Going to be able to shut this down very effectively. I think there was definitely an opening for Salami to push in and take this out, but it looks like he is going to be losing the majority of his units here. So
that was a cleanup.
That was a cleanup. Definitely a misplay there from Salami, but there was potential there. Look, I'll be honest, at this point with 15 idols, Salami is just... Did he just put his Dome of the Faith down with 15 villages?
I think so. Although, here's what I wonder is, I felt like Salami was kind of in the lead, but after he just wiped his whole army, I feel like this is like a reset on the game. Let's look at the villager count. We've got 31 for Divine, 30 for Salami. Salami's might have had more idle time. He's currently walking with 15 villagers to that deer. I don't know. I think this might be kind of a reset on the game. We'll have to see what happens here going forward.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right with regard to the reset. It makes a lot of sense. The difficult thing right now for Salami is there's obviously going to be that window where his opponent is going to be hitting the castle age. So we'll take a look over at Divine's perspective. You can see that he's balancing out his eco to look for that castle age as well. So 7 villages on gold, currently 25 villages on food as well. Doing a bit of long distance gathering from the deer that are out there, but probably going to be looking to hit the castle age in the next minute or two.
Well, especially, you know, he hasn't dropped down to archery range, or he is putting a stable right now, but, you know, I feel like that's indicated that he's not planning to be in this for the long haul in the second age.
Yeah, look, I think it's quite rare to see players go for the stable in the second age, just typically because they've got all the access access to the same units in the first age. So it doesn't really make sense to add it in. Rather, it more makes sense to me that he would be just placing that down for now in anticipation of hitting the third age. You can see his macro really heading towards that third edge. He's about halfway up now towards that. So I'd expect probably in the next 60 seconds, he's going to be looking at dropping down that landmark. Probably going up with the step redoubt there as well. Now, let's talk about Salami.
They're right by each other.
Say that again, sorry?
The 2 gold mines for Divine are right next to each other.
Let me have a look here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, wow. That's a great little spawn up there,
Good
isn't
spot
it?
to build your step redoubt.
Yeah.
Another stable coming down, too. So I think it's going to be Lancer City here once we hit the next stage.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. But yeah, that is a beautiful spot for the step redoubt. Hopefully we see it get smacked in between those 2 gold veins. That'd be absolutely beautiful. I think it's my dream to do something like that. But now we've got some archers moving out for Salami towards the front line. There were some spears that were taking down this outpost, but they're going to manage to keep it alive for now. More outposts in the base of Divine as well. So he's going to be able to hold that position,
and
obviously,
step
going
out
the
coming down
as well. Step redoubt, yeah, coming down in that beautiful spot. So there's a lovely little spot there. Look at that. Isn't that just awesome, Fitz?
This is about the dream for the Mongols.
22 villages on that landmark. Do you reckon he could get it up any faster if he wanted to?
I believe people have said there's diminishing returns of villagers. Is that true on the landmarks?
That is true, yes. So the way that it works is one villager will build at half the speed that 4 villagers build at, and then 4 villagers build at half the speed that 10 villagers build at. So obviously you can take the opposite from that. So if you've got 10 villagers, that'll build twice as fast as 4 villagers. And obviously that keeps getting worse and worse as you continue adding villagers. So I think if you built this with the maximum number of villagers, you probably wouldn't see much difference between 22 villagers and,
well, and to be honest, like,
villagers.
you know, he doesn't have the res to even like really train a whole lot of units right now. He got 1 batch out right now from his stable, but he could have had some of those on food while he was doing that. Sometimes the speed's important, especially if you got food in the res in the bank, but he doesn't have res in the bank, though he will have a lot of gold here very soon.
Yeah, that's one of the things to note with the Mongols. Obviously, they gather gold very, very quickly once they hit age 3. But now going to be falling back here as these archers move in towards the gold mine. Obviously, Salami has realized that his enemy's hit the third age. He needs to force him.
Smart
he
going
needs
right
to
after the
idle
gold.
him. Yeah, really, really smart move. But Double Lance is going to be coming out and cleaning this up again for, what is this, the second cleanup of the game, Fitz?
Yeah, this is not good for Salami. He's got nothing but archers out on the field, and now he sees times 2 lancers, and those 2 stables, I mean, they're going to be pumping lancers and running around. This is going to be a really hard spot for Salami. No walls from him yet. I would expect Salami will age up with the compound defender. He's just now about to hit that, and you see him already starting to gather a little bit of stone. So I think he'll go for some walls here as he hits the third age.
Yeah, I'd like to see that from him. One of the things to note is that, look, in the most recent patch, I actually spoke to one of the developers about the changes to Delhi. So not the most recent patch. I should probably take that back. The patch before that. And I said, hey, what's the thinking behind Delhi? Like, did you really think nerfing them was necessary? And he said, what are you talking about? We buffed them. And I'm like, what do you mean you buffed them? And he said, yeah, like they've got a really nice timing now in late feudal age. And what we've just seen happen, obviously the Lancers towards the middle of the map going to be cleaning up these archers now. But just to talk a little bit about that, take a look at all of the upgrades that he's got. So he's entered into the castle age right now. He's got all of his upgrades. You look at his mill, everything is researched. His lumber camp, everything is researched. His mining camp, everything is researched. Well, actually, the mining camp isn't researched, but yeah, like he has got all of his upgrades that he needs for free, as you mentioned. And we're now entering the third age at 14 minutes. He's going to be able to begin research
Lancers.
on those tier 2s. plenty of Lancers coming out right now.
Yeah, he's got Lancers everywhere, so he's gonna have to really react to these. One thing to know, Delhi still has bug spearmen as far as going up against the Lancers. They do not do the automatic brace. They also, the hardened spearman upgrade is bugged and takes longer. So
what do you mean it takes longer?
Takes longer to research.
Looks like it says 1 minute 44 seconds. Was it that hardened or is that the veteran spearman?
The hardened one, I believe.
Oh, the hardened one. Right, I got you. Plenty of upgrades now coming through for Salami. On the other hand, though, Divine yet to really get too many upgrades. Look at all the spears just running around the map. There's so many Lancers coming out now for Divine here. It looks like he's doing that thing that the Rus players do. You know where they only make horse archers? It looks like Divine's doing that, but with Lancers. He's like, I'm just going to make 1 million Lancers,
I mean,
and I'm going to win the game.
Like, he was out hunting pretty far away. Like, he could just run Lancers everywhere. He can also deny sacred sites with them. So it's a solid move. Salami is making spearmen, and of course with that efficient production, getting them pretty quickly. I can't remember if it's the veteran or the hard. One of the spearmen upgrades takes way longer, but we'll have to let the science department deal with that one.
Yeah, it looks like 1 minute 44 on the veteran upgrade, and he's not even really committing to it at the moment. So he's just looking to get out more and more hardened spearmen at this point in time. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him drop down a second barracks potentially.
He's picked up a
and
relic.
Then look to get that upgrade. Yeah, got that relic sitting in there, so nice and safe.
Meanwhile,
I'm assuming
Mongols
he's
got a lot of gold.
Yeah.
They've got sitting on 1,500 gold at the moment. You look away for a second and you got like a K gold with this step right out. It's just a super. I mean, where would you rate this landmark if you were going to tier this landmark? Where would you? I'm sure you made a tier list. Yeah, it's just so strong.
I assure you, it is one of the best landmarks in the game. That is part of the reason why Mongols are so strong, just because they've got so many good landmarks. Deer Stones, an S tier landmark, and the Step Redoubt, an S tier landmark. So 2 incredibly good landmarks. And to top it all off, when they go to age 4, they've got the White Stupa, which is also an S tier landmark. So they've got a lot of good landmarks. But now we got that raid coming in as well. So managing to keep those villagers alive, not being able to connect there. Barracks now coming in as well. So adding the second barracks in. Going to be researching that veterancy upgrade as well for the spears. So should be in a little bit of a better position. But I love the way that he's defending at the moment. You take a look at Salami's base. He's playing it very defensive. Just very compact here.
I noticed that Divine is just now building his first blacksmith. So he's just now starting his techs. Well, as you mentioned before, Salami has been working away on these technologies, and they're coming in. He's got some gold income from the relic, from the sacred site. That gives 200 gold per minute. And now we finally see our first stone wall segment. And I think Salami will be looking to wall his enemy in, but not only that, the Stonewall Towers is what really makes the shine. It gives you amazing line of sight, and the spring golden placements they have essentially are just absolutely killer.
Yeah, so one of the big things is obviously he's gone up to the 3rd age with the compound of the Defender, and if you're unfamiliar with the Delhi, I wouldn't at all be surprised if you've got no idea what this landmark does, because it's rare that we actually see it coming out. So this is going to be reducing the cost of these stone walls. So you can see how all these stone walls are going up. They're going up for a much cheaper price. So 25% is the reduction there. It also enables your infantry to build up these stone walls as well. So normally they wouldn't be allowed to build the stone walls. Now I say that because FitzBro, you did find a little bit of a bug where the infantry could actually build stone walls without compound of the Defender. But look, it's just much easier if you get that.
Yeah, we do see a night raid coming in here to the northwest on Divine, and I really feel like Salami's going to get a full wall off here, and this is going to be, if Divine's plan was to make man-at-arm and springalds, which a lot of people do, he's going to have issues getting through these walls if he gets a complete wall off, and he's going to stop all the raiding on his base and really let him capture all these sacred sites. And there is a reason I have a snake wall emote. It is one of my favorite things to do with Delhi.
Yeah. Take a look. Now, we've got actually double Springalds getting made. So you mentioned earlier, Divine making Springalds. Towards the north of the map, Divine actually getting raided pretty significantly here. 3 Lancers. They've got all the upgrades, at least at the moment. They've got all their +1 upgrades. +2 probably on the way in at the moment. Spears running out at full speed. They've got that YAM network buffed up, and they're going to be able to get into combat here. They're going to be absolutely fine. And now a bit of a raid heading back towards the middle of the map as well. Salami having a bit of trouble here. Is 11 villagers. Turns down to 10. Going to be going down to 9. It looks like there's another villager that did go down as well. So he's having a bit of a tough time, but those Lancers get out on top of the Knights, Fitz. And this wall almost getting complete. Take a look at that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think where Salami's going to really turn the turbo on is if he gets all 3 of these sacred sites and relics. Look, he's got control of those relics behind his walls. I mean, his eco is just going to really start to be a force to be reckoned with. And let's look at the villager count. 48 for Divine and 44 for Salami. So rather close. So that will put Salami, I think, technically ahead. Of course, you got to account for the step red out. You got to account for, the sacred sites.
Yeah, so Step Red Out would give an extra 6 villages, so make it 54. But then for Salami, he's obviously got relics in here, so he's got 2 relics. I don't think he's got a 3rd relic just yet, but he's also got the 200 gold from the sacred site, so looking at about a passive 400 gold at the moment. And now we see those Springles beginning to fire in on the stone walls, and it's going to be a slow but steady burst of damage that comes down for these bad boys. A ram now going to be put down instead, and look at these beautiful walls. Salami really just what's you know that old meme? What's the meme? It's like walling myself in, and it's got like the guy standing at the door like no, but then it's like walling my enemy in. Oh yeah. Oh no, it's the Drake meme. That's what it is. It's the oh yeah. Yes.
Well,
beautiful walls here from Salami.
And I think he'll keep creeping forward with this. I mean, I've seen Salami really do some crazy walling. I mean, I posted a game this week that was Salami playing against a Roost player. And if you are a Delhi player, I think it's the best game I've ever seen of Delhi in my entire life. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but he loves to do this wall mechanic. And I think we're about to really see him turn it on here against the Mongols.
Yes, I'm very curious. So obviously these spears are going to be able to get up on top of the walls. Please tell me that they can torch down onto that battering ram from on top of the walls.
I believe you can. It's awkward moving units on the walls. I'm actually checking and see. I'm just looking at the Stonewall Tower. It does still have 60 ranged attack, even though the Springolds have been nerfed down to 30. The Stonewall Tower still does 60 range attack. So it's the stronger Springold for sure.
Yes, it is the one remaining Springold that's actually quite strong. But look at all the spears getting in here, how quickly they managed to get it up. And one of the things to note is that the men-at-arms can actually siege that down. And now we've got that defend all sacred site objective coming in. Salami capturing all 3 of the sacred sites. And look at all of these Springold towers that he's getting up. So that's the second one. Oh, they can siege down on the battering ram. Look at that, throwing it down the wall. Boom, it goes very, very quickly.
A few wall tactics to note. When you're on top of the wall, if you hover over on the UI, you can see they get a little wall defense icon. It actually would reduce their range and siege damage by 66%, so they'll be more tanky, and they get some range by +2 tiles. Maybe that's perhaps why they're able to siege down ranged on those. It would make sense. It would make sense. And then as far as these Stonewall Towers go, you can torch them. So though you can't torch down stone walls, you can walk up and torch a stone tower. And man, he says it. Salami playing this beautifully. He predicted kind of what I said earlier is, Mongols love to do men-at-arms, crossbow, and Springolds, but those Springolds are not going to deal out the siege. They're going to need to deal with this wall situation. And now, not only is he getting so much gold from these sacred sites, he started a win condition, and Salami can literally just sit back and just keep walling up, building more Stonewall Towers, throw a few mangonels in there, and, go have a beer.
And take a look at all of the units now coming out for Salami as well as they begin to funnel across the map. He's got a huge amount of units that are coming out. He's got men-at-arms, he's got lancers, obviously a huge mass of spears. He's got Force March already researched here. We'll take a look and see. He's only got the +1 at the moment, so no +2 coming through for him just yet. But I think that Divine may have missed the memo. So for anybody wondering, in the most recent patch, Springolds got nerfed. They're not good anymore, at least not against, like, units. They're good against siege, but that's about it. And Divine's just like making them essentially against units, and it's not working. But speaking of units that do work, we've got the Trebuchet now beginning to lay waste to the walls of Salami. Score's looking pretty good at the moment, so Divine slightly ahead, but you would expect to see that for any Mongol player to be slightly ahead. But a huge mass coming out right now, 21 crossbows. There's only one unit I can think of right now that would actually end Salami's happy little streak, and it would be the Mangonel Fitz. Yeah. Could you imagine if we saw that coming out?
I mean, the reason why I wouldn't be too concerned about it is he has so much line of sight from those Stonewall Towers, so he's going to know it's coming. And he's behind his walls. He's not going to push out. I mean, I don't think he needs to. We do have a Lancer raid coming into the north, but he has. I almost love the line of sight from the Stonewall Tower more than I love them actually, dealing out great attack. Actually, we have a tower killing a Springald right now.
Yeah. Yes, the tower does manage to kill that Springlord. But that raid towards the north was absolutely massive. So
yeah.
you can see the carcasses, or the carcasses of the villagers. You can see the bodies of the villagers before they get picked up by the scouts. Yeah, he killed a lot there. So down on 54 villagers, Salami is. He manages to even that up. 56 for Divine at the moment. Obviously, Salami got a lot of gold income coming in right now. So he's looking pretty healthy. But obviously, when his opponent pushes through this wall, he has opened up a segment in this wall, and it's going to mean that Salami is actually able to provide a decent pincer movement. So if he tries to get through this wall, obviously he's going to
wall him out
to secure the sacred site. But is that what he's really going to do? Is
well,
he gonna
I
go
don't know. It's
out?
like maybe he's baiting him. Like I almost wonder. I don't think he's going to do it, but he could like go hide on the left, and when he goes through, wall him out, and then go siege his whole base. But here we go. We got to push.
We got the Mangonels coming in right now as well. He's got to be careful as they actually get caught by surprise. Looks like we might have a bit of a forced march come in eventually here. Men at Arms on the back line looking to chase away that Mangonel and having a pretty tough time there, Fitz.
I think it was, yeah, Spearman chasing down those Mangonel. All those Mangonels have died. You know, we said that was the one threat. I don't think Salami even needed to push this, but he did, and it doesn't look like Divine was ready for it. Crossbows dealing out damage on those man-at-arms. We have Springles dying to just like a man-arm and a spear there, and we also have villagers dying to some spears.
Yeah, I think that Salami has just completely overwhelmed his opponent and really taken him by surprise. So it looked like he was setting up for that push, you know, coming in with the triple Mangonel. But then, you know, his Mangonels weren't even set up. They just got completely blindsided by the lances that were coming in, combined with the spears. And it was just pretty much from there, all she wrote. Now, the units continue to reinforce for Salami. You see on the minimap all of those units beginning to come across, including a Tower War Elephant, Fitz. It is happening today.
Oh, boy. You know, I'm watching right now. Cinematic mode, baby. Oh!
All right, well, it looks like Salami has managed to pull out a victory over the Mongols, so very impressive stuff from him. Fellas, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you check out FitzBro. Once again, FitzBro, thank you for joining me for this cast. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Another great win for the Delhi Sultanate.
It's great to see. All right, fellas, we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.